Hello everyone, it's Dawn here from Dawn's Inspirations. Wanted to share a quick mini album with you. This is one I made a few years back. It's got a mount board hardcover, but I'm going to show you how to do a quick cheats way of making a cover for a lot of my newbie crafters out there, so it's not too daunting for you. This is a lovely mini album. This one's actually got 4 pages in it, but the one I'm going to show you in a minute's only got 3. And this one is it's got lots of pockets and tags. So the main system is this. One of these pages is basically one sheet of 12 by 12 folded, and then you've got room in here for big photo mats. You've got a photo mat there, same on the other side, nice big photo mat. You could even add extra photos on here if you wish. And then the top of each page you've got a card that pulls out, and I've done this as a double photo mat, so you've got room there for 2 and another 4 photos. So it's a great mini album if you want to store an event or memories at all. Also with the album, what I've done is I've made 2 half pockets, so you've also got photo mats on this end rather than just having a plain cover to the mini album. And I've done the same on the back as well. I've made another pocket there with another slip as well. So this is one I made a couple of years ago, but I'm going to show you how to make this today with 3 pockets. Very quick and easy to do, so I'll do it ahead with you. The paper collection I'm using today, this is an Echo Park. This is the Mini Themes collection. This is a kit from my other website, Scrapbooking Kits Are Us, and for this project I've used all of this kit and another sheet, I think, of pattern paper as well, and then I've used some cardstock on top of that as well. But if you pop over to my website, I'll put all the instructions down of what I use for the project and the measurements for cutting and scoring as well. But just to give you a heads up on the kit I've used today. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to get a sheet of your 12 by 12, and then this one I'm using today is double-sided. It's better if it is double-sided because you're going to see the insides of the pocket, but don't panic if it's not double-sided. Once it's folded you could just ink on the bit that you see inside, so please don't panic if you're using single-sided paper at all. I'm going to use my score board for this first of all, and we're going to decide which way around we're going. I'm going to have this on the outside, I think, today, because I've got that colour on the inside. And we need to score this at 3.5 inches and 8.5 inches. So 3.5 inches and 8.5 inches. I'm going to flip it over and do exactly the same on the other side, because you know I like to double score. We're then going to do a quarter turn and score it at 6 inches. Flip it again and score at 6 inches. And with a pair of scissors I'm going to slip up just to this first score line. So this is the piece that's the 6-inch line down. You're going to go to the first score line and just snip upwards. Like that. And then you need to do a half turn and do the same again. Okay. And then then we're going to burnish our score lines. So this is the effect you're going to have. So that's coming up like that. Do a half turn, do the same again. Okay, and then I'm going to have this heart pattern on the outside, so I'm then going to bend it on the 6-inch score line and just give that a burnish as well. Okay, so that's all your score lines burnished and your cuts made. That's the first bit. Well then, with these bits here that are cut, we're going to fold these into triangles to the first score line, or your only score line actually. So you're just going to pop that along there. So you're getting that effect. So I turn it again, I'll do it again with you. So up we go. So that goes upwards like that. Okay, I'm now going to glue these flaps down. I'm just going to use a tape runner today for this. So these are just going to be stuck down. You can use any glue you like. If you want to use double-sided, if you wish to use wet glue, it's entirely your choice. I'm just using a tape runner for quickness today. Okay. Trouble with this tape runner, it's a very strong one, and once I get it stuck on anything, that's it, it's not going to move. Right, so now you've got your paper looking like that. We're now going to fold the top one up and the bottom one down, and we need to now stick this, but be careful because we're making a pocket, so we only need to stick the bit that's going to stay stuck, if you like. So I'm just going to go along there, put that down, and then that still means I've got a hole there for my pocket. Okay, put my tab into. Do the same again on the other side. So you've got a hole that side as well. So now your paper's looking like that. We're now going to fold this back on itself, and that now is your first page. That's how quick and easy it is to do. Okay, so before we then put this all together, we're going to make some tabs and tags to put on here. I'm using red cardstock today for this. So I need to trim this up. So I'm doing the two photo mats and then a photo card insert for this. So for mine, I'm going to have it at 4 3/4 high. So I need to cut 2 strips at 4 3/4. Now the cardstock doesn't come in the kit that scrapbooking kits for us do, so you need to get your own cardstock for this. So as I say, I'm just using some red cardstock here today. Okay, let's move this paper out of the way. And then we need to cut one of these down to, we need 2 that are going to be 5.5 inches. So 2 at 5.5 inches. So that means then you have 2 mats that measure 5.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. So they're your 2 photo mats that slide inwards. Then we're going to do the card for the top. So we've got 4 3/4 high, and we need to have this at 10 inches. So we have that one at 10 inches, and then we need to score that in half. So that needs to be scored at 5. Okay, so that's scored at 5. I'll turn that over and give that a burnish. So that's our card to go in the top, and that's our 2 photo mats. What I'm going to do now is get my corner rounder, and I'm going to round the corners off so they match up nicely. You don't have to round your corners off. I'm doing it on this project just for a different effect, and because I quite like it. So I've done rounded corners on mine. So your choice though. So that one in there, and that one in there. So if I bring the page back in again, that means one of these will slot in there, and one will slot in the other side, and then the card one will go into the top. Okay, so that's the page. Now I need to go ahead and make some little tab tops to put on here. Okay, I've used today a punch that I've got from Stampin' Up to make my tabs. So I'll show you how I make my tabs. So you're going to need in total 3 tabs per page. I have cut some out ready, so I'll show you how to cut the other ones. So just using some offcuts from your paper. There's lots of little offcuts you've got here. These are perfect for making your tabs. And what you need to do is just to slide it in. I'm coming about halfway down. And that's a tab. Now, I don't know whether I've got enough on this one to do a second one. Let's see. I have. Just line it up. So that's your tab. So that's our tabs done. Now we're going to fix our tabs on. And the way we're going to do this is I've lined up my pages ready. Now I'm doing my pages in different steps. So I'm just having a look which way that's going to go. That's going to go that way. So as you can see from this, I've got 3 pages, all different colours. And then what I've done is I've got one lower down, one in the middle, one that way, one that way. So I'm going to do the next one further along. So it's they're sort of graduated. So what I need to look at is this one. Then I need to have my tabs at the top, near to the top, I should say. Okay, so I'm going to pop some glue on those. I'm going to use wet glue for that today. So pop a little bit of wet glue on. And then on the piece that goes the other side, I'm just literally need a tiny little slither along the bit that it's going to attach. Okay, and put that to one side. Alright, so these are now going to go to the top. So if I'm going to bring one in, I find this is the easiest way to do this. And it's then to line it like that. I'm going to push it down on that piece that's attached to the back there, so I brought it up too quickly. Now with the piece that we've done that's just got the one line along the glue, we're now going to match that up onto the top. Pushing that down. So that then matches. Okay, do the same with the next one. Ooh, getting stuck to myself here now. So I'm trying to match this again the same so it all looks the same when we've got it inside the book. Press that down. So when they go together, they're the same. Okay, so these are going to go into here. So one in there, and one into there. And now we're going to do the top one. So I've got another 2 tabs here. So again the same. Full glue on one and just a little slither along the bottom on the other. Again, I want these to go staggered, so I'll take my other 2 out just for reference. So I've got my other 2 here for reference. That's the back one, that's the next one. So I need this one then to come further along, so make sure you got it where you want it. So I'm going to open my card out, and I'm now going to match it up right on the end there. You can see that. Push that down. And then get my top piece with the one piece of glue on and put over the top. Press that down. So that's my card there done. Okay, now I've cut out a little piece of pattern paper out of what I had left. I mean, you can go ahead and decorate these any way you wish. Just show you the basic elements of the album today. So now I'm going to start putting everything in order. I'm going to put matte on one of these as well. on there. So we can get all our pieces out now, and then we can match our papers to how we want to have them when we have them in the book. Okay, so I've got a yellow in the front, so I'm going to go yellow, I think, in the middle. So this is where you can fiddle about if you've got different colourways. Okay, so you can fiddle about and have them where you want them. So I'm happy that these are going to be my 3 pages. So now I'm going to put my tabs in to match my 3 pages. So the first page needs to have the tabs at the top. So that's 1. And I can't think where my other one's gone. Oh, it's there. That's my other top one. So that's the top one. Next one is going to be my middle tab. So that's that one. And that's that one. And then the last one is that one. Oh no, it's at the bottom. Round the wrong way. That bottom one there. So one of these is in the wrong one. Must be that one. Just take your time doing this. I haven't covered all my mats yet, so I'm just wanted to get the main elements of the book put together, and then I can see what paper I've got. So if you can now see, I've got the tabs for the side pockets all in a graduation, and I'm now going to do the same on the top. So this is going to be for the first page. This is going to be for the second page, and this is going to be for the third page. Okay, so now I'm happy with how that looks. So we can now go ahead and make the main part of our book. So we'll put these to one side now. Now for the cover of the book, I've used a cereal packet here. Just a normal cereal packet that you get every day. I have done a quick tutorial on my website and on the YouTube channel for this. Rather than using mount board covers, because a lot of my crafters are new, and it's very daunting for a new crafter to go ahead and use mount board covers. So what I've done is I've just got a normal cereal box. This is sturdy enough for this project. So what I've gone ahead is I've measured each one of my pages. So these are measuring in at 6 inches, and then they're measuring at 4 3/4. Well, no, 5. Tell a lie, 5. So it's 5 by 6 inches. But you have got these tabs, top and sides, to put in. So if that was the main cover of my book, I've allowed enough measurement that you don't see the tabs. Okay, so I've just gone a little bit over. So for the actual book itself, the main cover is measuring just over 6.5 inches by 6 inches. So it's just that tad bit over measurement to allow my pages to fit into this book. Then what I've gone ahead and done is I've cut some of the paper as well out of my paper collection. I've cut a piece here. This is going to be for the front cover. This is measuring 8 inches by 7 3/4, and I've scored this 1 inch in on 3 sides. This is going to be for the front of the cover of the book, and purely so when you pop it in and stick it down, it just makes it easier when you're putting your book together by just scoring those pieces of paper. It doesn't go right up to the spine because the back piece is going to then wrap round. Okay, so as I say, I have done a separate tutorial on putting this book cover together, but I'm going to do it here with you today. This one here is measuring, that's 12 inches by 8 inches. I've done the same again. I've scored on the 3 sides. My telephones are going to go upside down now because it's been scored on the 3 sides. And then what I've done is I've also put a score line here where the first spine of the book is going to go, and another score line here where the second spine of the book's going to go. So it all just helps to match in. Now, as I say, this is going to wrap round on top of this to give a bit more of a dimension to the book. Now this is wrapping around a bit too far for me, so I'm going to trim 3/4 of an inch off that, and then I'm going to put a decorative punch along the edge of it. So there again, personal preference, your choice. You can do what you wish, but my feeling is that's just a little bit too long for what I'm wanting to do today. As I say, this project, this is the measurements you're going to need for this project, and I will put them on my website as I do underneath the project if you go to my website. But as I say, I have done a separate tutorial on it. I'm now just measuring the centre because I'm going to start and do a decorative punch. Just eyeballing this roughly. So this is a tonic punch I'm using here today. If you haven't got any punches, don't worry. You could do use some zigzag scissors, you know, some decorative scissors that you can get from craft shops. You could use, just keep it plain and use some lace or some ribbon. So it's entirely your choice. So I'm just using this today just to give a different element to the book. Try to match these in. This is a border punch I'm using. Okay. Now I haven't got all the way along because I'm going to be taking that into the inside of the book. So I'm just going to snip those two pieces off. And then we can start sticking our book together. Okay. So we'll start off with the front cover. So I'm going to put glue all over the front cover of the book. This is my Calal all-purpose glue. I know a lot of you have been asking about it. I know it's not readily available at the moment in the States, and I have been in touch with the manufacturers as they're based in the UK here. There's two big trade shows coming up at the beginning of next year. The UK one's February and then CHA in America. And they assure me that they've got supplies out in the States and in Canada, and they're hoping to get it on sale in Canada and in the States about February time. So I have made the noises in the right directions, and fingers crossed you too will be able to buy this out where you are abroad, because I know a lot of my followers are out there. I'm just pressing this glue down. That's another good thing about this glue. Even if you're using really thin paper, you don't get any bubbling or warping. So now I'm going to taper off my corners. So just with a pair of scissors, I'm just eyeballing the corner. Not quite happy with that one. I'm going to go in a bit more. Okay. I'm at a funny angle here, sorry people. Right, so I've just eyeballed the corners. Okay, don't worry if they don't quite meet in because we're going to put another pocket in here. And then I'm going to wet glue these again. If you haven't got this glue, PVA glue will do, the really strong Pritt stick will do as well, or any of your crafting glues that you've got available. You can use double-sided tape as well. I do find double-sided tape when you're doing something like this, once it's down, so sometimes it's better to use the wet glue, and this Calal glue I must say sticks anything. I even stuck my kitchen worktop down with it the other day where it started to come up with the water gone under it, so it is very strong. So that's the first part done. So that's our front cover. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and stick the other side down. I'm going to turn it round for this. So the decorative bit is going to be the bit that's going to go on here. So I've turned round. So this is my back page now upside down. Sorry to confuse you all. So I'm just going to flip this over and put wet glue on here and on here. So we can then get this stuck down. Now the cereal boxes are quite firm. A lot of you that have used mount board in the past, if you think, oh, it's not quite firm enough, why not cut out two and stick two together before you make your binding? if you're worried about it not being firm enough. But I think you'll see from the project I'm doing today that it does actually come out quite firm enough. So I'm just going to bend this over. So I've done the score lines. So I'm just bringing it all together. You can use your bone folder, that's why it's quite good with the wet glue. You're just getting that little bit of wiggle room, so you know all your folds are in the right place. So I just have to slide that one down a bit there. So just take your time with it. Once you've done this a couple of times, you will feel more confident. You know, if you don't feel quite confident to do it with the paper line that you're using, go ahead and have a practice with a cereal box and just some A4 copy paper. You know, just some cheap copy paper. Just do it in white. Just have a play with it to start with, so you feel confident that you've got it right. Okay. Right, I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to go ahead and snip my corners. Those out the way, and now we can go ahead and put some more wet glue down here. Now when using this type of cover, you can use several hinge systems. You haven't got to use the one I'm using today, you can use whatever you like. I know there's many of the ladies out on YouTube have done lots of hinge systems. I know Kathy Orter from Paper Phenomenon, she uses the hidden hinge system. You can use that on this book. You can also use Laura Dennison, Following the Paper Trail. She does the Stack the Deck. That works really well in this book as well. So, or you can use the back-to-back, just sticking the pages back-to-back and putting them in. So there's several different hinge systems you can use once you've made this book. So it's quite a good way of covering an album quickly. And then it gives you the options of what hinge system you'd like to use. So just take your time now, getting the glue dispersed and stuck down. And then we just need to then ease our book to its fold line. So we've got to get the memory back in it. So I'm just taking the time at the moment to press all this down. Okay, got a bit of wet glue there, rub that away. Okay, so that is now our cover complete. So we just now need to bend it slightly. Now the glue's still a little bit wet, but what you need to do is just gradually bend it. So it just allows the paper to find a memory. Okay, so by doing it gradually, like I'm doing it, just easing it, you don't get any cracking on your paper. If you go ahead and yank it, you're going to get cracking. There's just no way around it. Okay, so just take a little bit of time. Now I forgot to put glue, as you can see down that part of my book under the ribbon there. So I'm just going to go ahead. I don't want to pull that off at this stage. I'm just going to go ahead and blob some glue down there. That's it. Then I'll lay it out flat. And I'll just get that under there. It's a little bit too much. Give it a wet wipe. Right, so just stick that down. As I say, you can use several different hinge systems today, but I'll show you how we're going to do it on this project, so if you want to follow along with me. So that's now stuck that down. So that is our cover for our book, all done. So that's just using one cereal box. As I say, if you wanted to use two, to make it firmer, go ahead and use two. That's not a problem at all. Okay, so we'll just leave that to one side, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do to cover the inside. Now, as you noticed on ours, we've got these big plain bits here, but do not panic, because we're going to go ahead and make some more pockets like we did on the other album to match inside here. So I'll just leave that to one side a minute there. So I've already prepped one here ready, because I've already shown you how to do it, so I don't want to go over that again with you. So I've already prepped the page here, so I've stuck these down and folded these over. So it's the same as the first time, but this time we're now going to cut along this line. Okay, so I'm just going to trim mine with a pair of scissors. Now you're not going to have top tabs in these pockets, you're just going to have the side tabs. So now by cutting that in half, that's made us 2 more pockets to put in our book. So we need to go ahead and just glue those. Where's my tape runner? And these are still pockets here. We've got a pocket bit here in the back, so we should have put some, I could have put some double-sided tape down there, but what I'm going to do is just do a little run of glue. So a little blob of glue to make that into a proper pocket. That bit's sticking up, so I'll put a little bit of glue down there too. Right. I'll do the same again on this side. When you're using double paper for this, double-sided paper for this project, I'll try and go for something that's you've not got too many things upside and downside, if you're with me. Quite a paper that can be patterned in several ways, like I've used here today. Right, we're going to stick these pockets on now. So these are going to go in the front and the back covers of our album. Okay, so that's the front cover. So to keep everything the same, I've got the flat bit coming downwards. So these now need to go on here. And then for the hinge system that I've used, I've also cut a hinge out of some red cardstock to actually stick on here as well. Okay, now I've got a little bit of a gap there in the middle, but I'm not too concerned with that at the moment. What I could do, I could stick another piece of red or just colour it. It's entirely up to you, but I think I'm going to leave mine quite plain, so because I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. So we're going to stick these down. When we stick these down, you're going to stick them right up to that angle there. Right, looking at it again, I'm going to just put a piece of an ink. I've just used a Pro Marker here, and I use this, if you remember, with our mats. I've edged around the edge of my cardstock or pattern paper with the, let me show you on some of these I've already done. As you can see, I've just edged with a Pro Marker rather than an ink pad. Okay, so I'm going to perhaps just run that down here because you're going to see that bit. And that's the same colour that I've used as well. So, personal choice again. You might want to use an ink pad, that's not a problem. You might want to just use it plain. If you're using something like a craft effect, you can use it plain. But you'll see how we put the book together, and then you'll see what you wish to use. So I'm just going to stick that there. I'm now going to get these stuck down. I'm going to use wet glue again for this. So these are the insert pockets for our front and back cover. Okay, so I'm going to bring that over. This time we're going to butt right up to your spine, but not right on your spine. Now I'm going to bring it down a little bit. I'm just going to go, I think it's about ½ an inch. Yeah, I'm going to go ½ an inch from the bottom. This is because when we put our pages in, you've got this top tab here showing. So of course when we lay these in, we don't want to see the top tab on the outside of our book. So by bringing it down, you won't see them. So if you line it up with ½ an inch at the bottom, right up to the edge on your spine, but not on the spine, okay, and that's where we're going to position this. So I'll give that a bit of a burnish down so the glue adheres, and then that covers up that front piece there that you can see, so that then looks quite nice. I've made pockets here for this as well, so there's a pocket there for that one. Same as the pockets we made before. Okay, so we'll stick this other one down on this side as well. So the pockets themselves, once you've made one, they're quite simple to make. So, and if you wanted to make a smaller album, just remember to stick this one again down 1/2 inch. If you wanted to make a smaller album, you could always do it with 8x8 papers and make smaller pockets. So it's entirely your choice. Right, let's bring that down. So there again, I'm not on the score line of the spine, and that's where that ink is just going to cover it. Okay, press that down. Just take your time to burnish these bits of glue down, because that gives the nice finished look to your albums. Put this pocket in there. That's that done, and now we just need to add our spine on then, so we can add the rest of our book pages. So I'll show you how to do the spine. Okay, I've just used a piece of my cardstock that I've got finished here. This is measuring 3 inches, so it's 3 inches by 4 3/4. So let me go ahead and make another one with you, so you know how to do it. So I need 3 inches by 4 3/4. So 4 3/4 along, that's 4 3/4. So I now need 3 inches. Need your score pal. I'm going to go from this side, just because purely being right-handed it's easier to do. You're going to score this along the 3 inch side at 1/2 inch increments. So we're going along at 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. I'm now going to flip and do the same on the opposite side. We're now going to valley and mount and fold these. So the first one is going to come up, because that is going to be inside your page. So that's your first one. The next one's going to be flat, but the next one is going to come up. And then the next one is going to go down. And then the last one is going to come up. So we technically have, we've got a valley, a mountain, a valley and a valley, if you look at it. So it's going to look like that. You can all see that. Okay, what I'm going to do with this middle piece, I want that joined together, because that is going to go inside one of our pages. So for this I'm going to use the red double-sided tape for this one, just because it's a little bit stronger for what I'm doing today. So I'm just going to put a piece of that along there. Scissors. Press that down. Take that off. It wants to come off. Now I'm going to push those two together. So now your spine will look like that. So I've got 3 pieces sticking up to take my 3 pages. And if you look at my book cover, bring that back in, that will then fit inside my book cover. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, because we've now lined these up at 1/2 inch along the bottom, I now know where to line my spine up. So I'm going to go ahead and stick my spine down, and I'm going to use red tape again for this on the 2 flat pieces. So not these pieces sticking up, the 2 flat pieces. So let's go ahead and put some tape on these. This is where it gets a bit tricky, because we've got all the folds in it, but take your time to do this. Okay, now my tape doesn't quite meet in the middle, so I'm going to put an extra piece in the middle of mine. Your tape might be wider and fit. I should have used my wider one. I picked up the wrong one, but it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong in crafting. You can soon adjust things to go the way we want them. So I'm going to stick an extra piece down the middle, and it's going to be really sticky now. And normally I would have the tab pieces out the side so I could stick it, but because I've got this lined up at the bottom, I feel quite confident that I can do this. As I say, if you're a bit wary at this stage, make a dummy one up out of a cereal packet and some just cheap copy paper, just to play with it first to see how it works. Now this middle spine I'm just going to lay to one side while I stick this down. Okay, so I can get it all lined up where I want it to be, which is about, no, still not quite happy, see I haven't let it go yet. Just take your time. Now as I say, this book I'm making today has got 3 pages. If your cereal packet is wider and you want to make 4, you can make 4, because now you know basically how to make your pages, so it's not a problem at all. Right, I feel quite happy with that, so we'll stick that down. So that's my 3 flaps up now for my hinge. Now I'm going to ink a bit more with my Pro marker because I can see a bit of the cereal box still showing. It won't show when the papers are stuck down, but while I can see it, I'm just going to ink that. Okay, so now we can go ahead and start sticking our pages in. So I'm going to start with the back one. So you can use double-sided tape for this, or wet glue. The choice is entirely yours. Personally, I think double-sided tape is going to work just as well. So I'm going to go ahead and find my other double-sided tape. So I'm going to have to use my thick one. Right, I've used my red line one today. So I've got the red tape, so I'm going to put a strip of that down the edge of the book. I'm going to just take these pockets out while I put this one in. And I'm going to get my scissors that I use for red tape. Okay. Right, if you see what I've done, I've just put red tape down one side, and then I'm going to peel that off, if it will come off easily or not. It's going to play me up today. That's it, peel that off. And I'm going to line this up with the one we've got on our front cover. So it's lined up along the bottom, but I'm just going to bring it slightly away from the main spine, otherwise there won't be any movement when you open and close the book. So I'm just going to lay that down. So I've lined that up, lay that on that piece of glue, on that piece of tape, and then we're going to put a second piece of tape on the top, or even on this piece of paper, it doesn't really matter, I'll put it on the top of here. So you can do it either way, whatever way you find the best. Stick that down again. Where did my life go? I'm going to take the backing off this. That's the only trouble with this red tape, the backing is sometimes tricky to come away. And when it does, it sticks to you like no end. So that's now off. And we're going to lay this flap now back onto there, but before I do that I've got to make this top pocket. I nearly forgot that. So I need to put another piece of red tape along the bottom. Nearly forgot that piece, otherwise my top loading card tag would be sliding right down the bottom, wouldn't it? I kept it open like this just to show you an easier way of putting this together, rather than making them as closed and doing it like Kathy does with the hidden hinge, and you have to try and slot it on top, and it's not as easy to do. That's why I'm showing you this way today, so a lot of my new crafters will be able to do this. So now we've flapped that back on itself. Push that down, push that down. So that's now our first page done. We can now put our tags, side tags back in that one. And our top tag. Okay, so that then fits in there nicely. Okay, so we'll do the same again with the next one. So let's take the tags out before we start, so it's easier to manage. Where did my red tape go? Keep losing my tapes. Let's put a piece of tape on this side. Bear with me, my red tape is playing up. If you haven't got red tape, normal double-sided would do. I just haven't got the right double-sided one here with me today. I think for quickness I'm just going to put a tape runner along the bottom here. You can use your glue though. Okay, so I'm going to line it up again, so the pages are all lined up at the bottom, and then just fold your hinge. And that's it, just take your time with it. Okay, and I'm going to put another piece of red tape along that piece. It soon starts to come together, and the pages are very quick and easy to assemble. And as I say, you can add as many pages as you like to this this book. The first one that I showed you I had 4 pages. I've only done 3 in this one because I felt the cereal box cover that I had could only take 3. I probably could have got away with 4, but I thought 3 was ample for the project I was doing and enough for the paper I had as well. That's the other thing you've got to think about, the pattern paper you've got, if you've got enough pattern paper to complete the project. So that's 2, so we're on the last one now. I've had some lovely feedbacks from my followers on YouTube and on my website, and it's nice that you're all enjoying these step-by-step tutorials, and I'm inspiring and giving you the confidence to make up little mini books that some of you may have looked at on YouTube and thought there's no way I can achieve this project, but hopefully I'm showing you that you can. The free Christmas online workshop has proved very successful, so I'm hoping to put another online one that will be a paid workshop out in the new year, so keep checking out my website and I'll put a post on YouTube. Let's just pop these tags in here out the way so I'm not getting in a muddle with my pages. Should have done that. Put the top one in. That's it. Right, take these tags out. This is the last page. So line it up again, just take your time. I haven't put my tape along, but I'll get this lined up first. Just take your time lining it all up, because it does go towards making it look nice and finished at the end. So just get my tape, run a piece along the bottom for quickness, as I'm put a piece of red tape along there. So as you can see, the album is really starting to come together now. Just got all the fun bits now to do with putting all the finishing touches to it. As I say, the kit I've used today is from Scrapbooking Kits R Us. I've added my own cardstock, and I had to add another sheet of pattern paper to it. There wasn't quite enough, but as I mentioned before, I put all the measurements on my website, and how many pieces of pattern paper and cardstock you're going to need. So fold that one back. That's it. I think that is the wrong tag for that one. I think I need that one for there. That's it, that's round the right way then. Yes, I've got the tags round the wrong way. Let's put these round the right way, because I can't have two lots of dots. So I've got telephones and dots, that's better. So this one must go in here. That's it. So let's put all my tabs in now. Put the top one in here. That's the main element of our book now coming together. As you can see, that sits nicely with all the pages in there. I mean, I feel happy actually that 3 pages is enough for there, because time you've added all your photographs to that, that will be plenty. So I don't feel that you need 4. So as you can see through the book, you've got lots of space for good sized photo mats, so you can go ahead and use your pattern papers like I have here if you wanted to, or if you just want to stick photos in them. You've got all your top tag cards as well. I've had lots more extra photographs, so they're all the little bits to do. I'm going to go ahead now and finish adding my embellishments to it quickly, and then I'll show you what I've done when I finished it all off. So I'm just going to pop off now and add all these little extra bits and cutouts that I've got from the kit. So I'll go ahead and do that quickly, and then I'll come back to you and show you the finished book. I've gone ahead now and finished my book now with all the little cut aparts and stickers etc. that came in the kit that I'd used from Scrapbooking Kits R Us. So it's all nicely finished off now. As you can see, it's quite a substantial album, even though the cover is just a cereal packet. It's still a very substantial album to use. So I've put a lot of the cut aparts on here. I've used some baker's twine here to make a little line to put the banners on, and I've just added some little stickers here. This is going to make a great little mini album to give to my niece to put some pictures of her friends from school in. So a nice little book here. So there's lots of pull-outs, lots of places for photo mats, and extra memorabilia, journaling, all sorts of things that she wants to add. So lots of little things that are going on in here, and lots of places to put photographs. Cut down 6x4 photographs can go in here quite easily, and as I say, there's lots of room as well for extra memorabilia and tickets and little things that girls like to keep as well. I mean, I've made this in very much little girl or teenage girl style, but as I say, you could use different paper line and make it for a man, for a lady, for a boy. You know, the choice is yours. This is just the paper collection I've used here today, so just to show you the tutorial. But also you can see you're not daunted as well by the binding, having to go ahead and buy mount board and laying it out properly to put together. I mean, mount board is beautiful, and it does give a nice professional finish to your albums, but if you're a newbie crafter, like I know a lot of my followers and ladies are, that type of covering at the moment I think will be far too much for them, whereas this works just as well and it's just as effective, and I'm really happy with the way the album has finished off, and it's just as good as using mount board. So that's my take on a folded pocket page mini album. That's going to be called. I'll put the measurements and the amount of paper that you're going to need on my website, dawnsinspirations.com. So I do hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and go ahead and have a go. So Save your cereal boxes. If your cereal box has got a wider spine on it, you can add some more pages. So, you know, the pockets, as you can see, are very easy to put together. So now you've learnt how to put the pockets together, you can go ahead and make as many mini albums as you like. So I'm Dawn from Dawn's Inspirations. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. Bye bye for now.